and then it's kind of not. But the top, I slanted it because you told me about that wabi sabi thing, and I was like, you know what, she's so right. And so I was like, I don't want this straight. I mean, I was gonna make it wavy, but now it's different wavy. And then these were my designs for like these. I don't know if you guys can see them well, but I think I want to do the dancers, but like stick figures.
Here,
I
let
like,
me
I like,
pull
I
up
feel
your
like I
picture.
could add more, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Anyway,
No, I
and
think so. How tell since you're one of the few I've seen come into class, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience? I guess coil building to sort of like maybe ease it in for the rest of us. How have you found it so far? Was it easier than you thought it was? Was it simpler? Did I lose you, Mike?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Um, it's I don't know if it's easier or harder than I thought, but I had to redo mine twice. If that tells you anything about it, I think it's like just trying to figure out like when you can work on it and like when you need to stop, and then also like how thick to make it so that it doesn't fall apart. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's fun. It's fun.
Nice. So what she's talking about is when we first sort of get started in coiling, one of our like I really think our first instinct is to make them thin because in your brain you go, if I make these thin, I can have more clay for later. But by making them thin, you make your structure thin. So if you start with fatter coils, like thicker ones, and then build up to thin on the top, so thick on the bottom and thin on the top, you'll find that you're able to not only achieve the height you want, but at a speed that's pretty easy to maintain or achieve. So you don't have to worry about like waiting for your thin coils to dry because the thick ones are sturdy enough as they are. Cool. So who's next?
I can go.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are my sketches. I know you can see them. And the one I'm kind of aiming for is like the last one. It's kind of like whiter in the bottom, and then it gets like thinner at the top. And I was planning on doing like a sunflower pattern since I do love sunflowers. So, but yeah, those are.
Nice. I think sunflowers would be really cute. Do you know what kind of colors you're thinking about?
Um, I was probably gonna keep it like neutral, so like gray or maybe like black.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think that'll be great. And when you're working with more complex forms, like the one you want to sort of work with, you don't have to build it all up in one piece. So what you could maybe do is build up that bottom bowl, measure how wide it is, and start the top half on another piece and let them both sort of get to the same dryness. And then you can just score and slip both pieces together. So if you want, like any of you want to do like a complex shape, that's honestly the way to do it. And I think you could get it pretty easily that way for sure.
Mm.
Thank you, Miriam. All right, who's next?
I can go.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a pattern I'm thinking of going with this one in the middle. It looks kind of like a flower. So I was leaning towards that kind of design, and then I was thinking of doing this type of pot just because I like how it's like slim on the bottom, like it goes a little bit out and comes back in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. So why the flowers? Was there any inspiration?
same. I just really like flowers. I also like sunflowers, like roses and stuff like that. So I like incorporate that into my artwork. That was the main reason.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. I think that'll be really interesting. Have you thought about what colors you want to use?
Not yet. I was gonna see how I did it and everything, and see the colors and everything.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think that's usually the best way. If
Mhm.
you either start with a big plan and try to like not deviate too much, sometimes you get disappointed. So I think just having a loose plan from the beginning, like this is the shape I'm shooting for, this is my pattern, and I'm going to see how I feel when I get to the points that are important. That's a good idea. I think it'll be great. All right, who's next? I think we just have a couple more people.
I can go.
Yeah.
Okay. Like easy. All right. I don't have a solid idea just because I kind of don't like all of mine, but I have a few. Okay. I'm mainly looking at this one, that one, and yeah. And so my patterns, I don't really have like a heritage thing going on. But I just started drawing like I think I drew this one and then I kept drawing them and I got really cool. And then like I like cow print type stuff, so I was like maybe I could do something with that. But yeah, that's all I have.
No, I think this will be great. You really like went for the interesting shape. You're like, I'm gonna make this crazy. But I think those are very doable, and all you got to do is get in there. I think the eyeball one could be very interesting if that's what you do choose to go with. I think there's a lot of, you know, the eyes have the window to the soul sort of thing, and you can give it a lot of like, I don't know, mysterious background. But cow print, we love cow print. Like I said, I've already said I love cow print, man. We can put cow print on anything. So I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Emerald. All right, who's left? Who's left? I think maybe just Ruth. Ruth, are you with us?
Yeah. I don't have my sketches on me because I'm currently been struggling with this pot. Um, yeah, my idea most something with a lot of curvature, so very round. Although I'm finding I'm having a really hard time with that, just because I can't seem to make like coils that are even enough in thickness. So I
Mhm.
was having like troubles because it kept not yeah it kept collapsing, but I think I'm at a good point with whatever I have. It's not necessarily the shape I wanted it, but as long as it's round, like almost circular or even like oval shaped, I'm good. In
Yeah.
terms of the pattern, I did have like I guess a theme idea, like not theme, but like the overall idea of it was like crying and stuff. Just because I've been struggling with mental health stuff, and so um, I wanted something to represent that. And I usually like really narrative stuff, but I figure for this project, the patterns that I had were a little too intricate. And seeing that I'm already struggling with the pod, I'm glad that I'm not going with them. And so I decided for the pattern, I'm going to do teardrop shapes. So yeah.
Nice. No, I remember your pattern. And I mean, there is something to be said about jars for tears. There's like, I think it's Israeli. It's like an Israeli Jewish sort of tradition, but people would fill small glass jars full of tears and put them in tombs of, people they love to symbolize like the feelings they lose with them. So I think you could really do something with tears. Tears are a big concept. Nice. Cool. So I think we are dry enough that I can do the next little bit. So I just got my like sharp knife. You can use your little needle tool or just really carefully scrape it up with your fingers. So in order to take off the stencil, I'm looking for the outline of my paper, and I'm just gonna pop it off like so. And I didn't wait long enough for this to dry completely, but if I give it time to fully dry, it'll be a lot easier to pop this stuff off. So the key here is patience. Nice. So this is the kind of pattern we've sort of ended up with. And so when I fire this, everything that is outside that is not white will be glossy black, and everything that is this darker brown color is going to be glossy black, but this white is going to be like a flat matte color. So it'll be sort of a fun dichotomy situation we have happening. Alrighty. Let me see what we have. That's some good advice. Yeah, and I think definitely just like twisting them, and if you find that one is a little wonky, maybe address that section and just ignore the rest of the coil, but like fat coils on the bottom, thin coils on the top are really just the ticket there. Nice. So do we have any more questions that I can answer before we get into it? Or call it a day, or just get into the studio and start working? No? I had somebody ask me this question, so I think it's important so everybody knows. If you want to come work on campus, I have arranged it with Campus Police and with the card swiping system that you have 24/7 access to the lab now. We fixed the issue we were having over the weekend. So if your best time to work is 2 a.m., you can come in at 2 a.m. There won't be anybody down here, so you can have the whole lab to yourself, which is really nice. And the hours for the lab are pretty much whenever. The building sort of opens at like 7 or 8-ish. And everybody's sort of mostly out of here by 9. The door will lock at 9. However, if you've got your ID with you, you should be able to swipe in.